Whoa. Oh yeah, friends and fam, welcome back to another episode of Captain Coleslaw Outdoors with yours truly. So today we're doing a little bit more preseason prep for whitetail deer hunting. So we're gonna bring you guys a tree stand installation. We're going to do a little review on a new tree stand I got and a new system, show you how it goes up into the tree. Also, we're going to do another trail camera reveal to see what's been happening on our salt licks over the last month. Now, if you remember, we had some nice buck and a couple with names from past years and past experiences. Well, we want to see if those bucks are hard-horned yet, see how they're progressing in terms of their health and their patterns, and hopefully that'll give us a chance to shoot one of them with an arrow when archery opens up in October. But our first mission is I am all geared up. You can see I got my tree stand harness on and lineman's rope, because we're going to do a little review of a tree stand that I bought, which I'm going to be hunting out of this year. So check this baby out. Yeah, look at that. So this baby right here is the X-Stand Backcountry Tree Stand and Climbing Sticks combo pack that you can buy on Sportsman's Guide. But it's an unparalleled setup. It's made of like aircraft quality aluminum. It is so light. This whole setup right here is about 20 pounds even. It's got backpack straps that we're going to strap in, and we're going to actually do a little field test with this. We're not going to go into where we're hunting per se, but we're going to go find a tree. We're going to go hang this tree stand, and then we're going to do a little review on the process of how to get in the tree, how long it takes, how easy it was. I have never actually packed in and hunted all in the same day when it comes to a stand. Normally I hang my stands a month in advance, so all I have to do is walk out and climb up into the tree and start hunting. But if you're hunting public land where you don't have that option because somebody could go in and steal your tree stand, and trust me, people do, this is a really good alternative setup that you can use to have a hunting situation which is safe, secure, and effective. So we're going to go hang this tree stand up, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the claims that it makes in terms of how long it takes to hang this thing, how comfortable, how easy the process was, and we're going to review that for you so you can get into it yourself, or you at least know what you're getting into. So in addition to hanging the stand, we're going to try to make this as authentic a hunting experience as possible. So we're also going to bring out this bag here, and we're going to hang that on our stand while we walk out in there, and we are going to install, check this baby out, this is Muddy Brand's camera mount for hunting in tree stands. So when we go archery hunting this fall, I'm going to be able to mount this to the tree, and I can bring the big camera out, which is going to allow me to get better photos in lower light, and we can hopefully bring you guys the archery hunt most effectively on camera. So this mount we're going to bring into the woods with us too, and we're going to hang this thing up and see just how effective this thing is going to be when it comes to hunting this fall. So basically I'm trying to simulate a hunting situation that is going to happen this fall, me packing in, putting the stand up, having the camera mount ready. The only thing I don't have with me is the bow and the deer, or my hunting boots. I kind of forgot to put my boots on, so I'm going to be doing this in camouflage Crocs. At least they're camouflaged. So without further ado, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this stand, we're going to go install it into the woods here in a trial, and then we'll deinstall it, and we'll see how long it takes for that to happen. I'll review pros and cons of the experience, and that way you will have an idea of what you're getting into if you ever decide to get into archery hunting and tree stand purchasing. Alright, so we're all strapped in and walking now. So the first thing I can note is my bag that I'm going to be taking into the stand with me is clearly swinging off the back of the stand, and that's making a little bit of clicking noise that I really don't want deer to be hearing. But in terms of the weight, it's not too bad. I'm obviously going to want to limit the amount of weight that I'm carrying in at any given time, but I will say that it is really not all that bad. So I'm going to have to grade the weight of this stand and the carrying of it probably a B+. I have these straps on, as you can see, and they kind of slip with the weight, and I really don't want that. So I might have to use like a safety pin or something to keep this loose strap from loosening and thus keeping the tree stand from sagging. But as long as I hold these here, even with that added weight, this is less than 30 pounds on my back. It's really not that bad. This is definitely a doable option if I had to pack in long distances on public land for hunting. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna trial is tree stand installment. So check it out. So this tree right here is straight as an arrow, nice and solid, definitely alive, nice big red maple that we can play with. We're gonna install this stand and camera mount into this tree as if we were gonna go hunting tomorrow. Now, I've never installed this before. I'll talk you through the tree stand installment, the climbing stick installment, my harness, and the lineman's rope that I'm gonna use to climb up in this tree. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down those pieces one by one, explain what needs to go up in this tree in order for us to start hunting. All right, so here's an itinerary of the equipment that we have in our stand that are needed for us to go up in this tree. So we got two straps. We have two straps that we use to actually cinch the ladder pegs, the climbing sticks to the stand, and those are going to ultimately pin the stand to the tree. So you have to have those, and it's nice because this actually wraps around the stand, and on the tree stand itself there are two disc-shaped mounts for the rope when it gets up into the tree. Well, you just wrap that around the stand in these climbing sticks, and they come right off the stand. You have a couple bungees at the bottom here, and that unloosens our 4 climbing sticks right here. And each of these climbing sticks has these ladder pegs that fold out, which allow us to climb up into the tree appropriately. And then we have the actual tree stand itself. So this stand, when it folds out, has a nice seat, has a good platform on it. It's not the biggest platform in the world, but it's definitely light, and it's more than enough for an archery stand. It's as easy as folding this seat up when the deer comes in and standing straight up. And pivoting on that, there's more than enough room. But this is actually gonna go on our back as we climb up the tree, and then once we get the climbing sticks up to the top, this will be the last thing we install. Using this rope and this ratchet strap that held the climbing sticks to the stand when we walked in. So make sure you put those in your pocket and you don't lose them. Some other pieces of equipment that you need to hang a tree stand and are 100% necessary in order to do it, whether it be this X-stand backcountry or your dad and grandpa's wooden stand he made 50 years ago for you. You have to have a harness, safety first. You need to have a harness with a tether off the back that you can clip into your tree. That way, in worst case scenario, if you fall out of that tree stand, you have a safety harness that will hang you from the top of the stand and you will not fall. It's not wrapped around my neck, it's wrapped around my back like a backpack straps. I have fallen out of tree stands before and I was not harnessed. I am lucky that I am here talking to you about this safety today. Please, please, please. The only thing that saved me from my prior fall was I had a backpack stuffed with snacks. And for whatever reason, I didn't eat my snacks that day, and I always eat my snacks I take in the stand. Get a harness. This harness is actually made by X-Stand as well. It's sold separately from the tree stand and the climbing sticks. It's light, it's easy profile, but it's made of tough material, and I trust this thing with my life every time I go up in the stand. I'll link it in the description below. It's more important than the stand itself. But the other thing that's going to be super important for us is this little rope right here. This is called a lineman's rope, and it's going to allow us to climb in the tree without having to use a hand to hold on to the tree itself. So we'll be held in when we're strapping in our stand and our climbing sticks, but we will still be secured to the tree in case something goes wrong. This climbing stick was made by Muddy, and it is an excellent little piece of equipment. Again, paired with a good tree stand harness, you can't be much safer than if you have these two little pieces of material. So I will link this in the description below as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually take this lineman's rope and we'll wrap it around the tree, kind of like this. You'll wrap it around and it will hold you. We'll actually secure it to the harness on the loop that's there. And boom, look at that. I'm hanging off the tree, handless. And that, I am secure as can be. So this knot here, this palmer knot, is a tension knot, which it comes in the climber's rope when you get it. When that thing is tied and you put pressure on it, it's tight as a rock, it ain't going anywhere. But when it's loose, you can actually shift that knot up and down the line as necessary for comfort. And when I get up in the tree, this lineman's rope will also be my safety harness that I'll tie around the tree and attach my tether to. So I'll show you that when we get up there. So now that you've seen the safety harness, you've seen the climbing sticks, you've seen the stand, and you've seen my lineman's rope, now I'm going to attempt to put it all up into this tree, and we're gonna see how long it takes for that process to happen. So basically, I'm going to install a climbing stick to the tree and use the provided ratchet to strap it on. I'll climb up, tether myself on, put the next ladder peg up until we're all the way up there, and then I'll install the tree stand and my safety rope tether, and then that's it, and we'll see how long that whole process takes. Wearing Crocs was not the best idea. I also don't like my angle, that is how far away I am from the tree. So I can actually adjust this knot by pulling this rope in order to keep myself closer to the tree. That takes a little bit of the pressure off my feet. Or I can say that I'm sweating up a storm because it's like 85, 86, 87 degrees out here. I have chosen to hang my tree stands before the season. That way my scent, which is a huge, huge, huge factor. These deer have an unbelievable scent of smell. It's like 10 times as good as a bloodhound. Historically, that is why I've opted to put my tree stands up before the season, so my scent has a chance to get out of there. The deer don't become educated. Every time they hear a bunch of clanking back here, I try to prep early, hunt hard later. Now, if you don't have that option where public land has a risk of your stands becoming stolen, I totally understand why this would be the setup hands down to go with. It is just so much quicker. I've hung more ladder now than I've done in any given period 10 minutes in my life. All right, now this is where things are gonna get interesting. We're hanging the tree stand now. I feel secure. My lineman's rope is super, super tight to the tree. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, so getting up into the stand here, we were able to achieve that. I'll tell you what, I mean, getting that climber down and this stand up simultaneously added for a little bit of added tension, plus the fact that these trees that we're in are kind of like attached but crooked. But this is a great place. I got a real strong hankering. We'll kill a deer out of this stand at some point. There's a real nice trail that runs right there, right below the stand. You could probably see where they have it beaten down, and it runs out onto this bench, which is flat, kind of like we talked about before when reading maps, when we did our first installment of deer hunting prep. Those animals will be funneling this cliffside here all fall long, and we should be able to get a shot at them. This stand is up. I like it. We're gonna keep it here. We're gonna leave it here for hunting season, let it sit, let it stagnate in the environment so the animals get used to it. Hopefully they don't even realize it's there though at the end of the day. All right, so got our camera mount here. This also attaches with the same sort of ratchet strap technology. It's gonna be kind of hard to see if there's any deer coming from my right, but if they're coming from straight ahead or my left, I should be able to kill them. Gotta make sure that thing is out of my way though when it's time to shoot. Yeah. It's definitely gonna provide us some opportunity to kill deer in ways that we weren't able to do before. And also, so this thing is definitely going to provide some opportunities to show some kill shots that I have never even dreamed of being able to do before. So I like it so far. I'm gonna try installing it to the other side of the tree and see if I like that angle better. Yeah, so this was definitely the way to do it. I now have the ratchet behind me, and it was way easier to come at it from this angle. Yeah, this is gonna be way better. I can put it in front of my face. I can put it out here if I had to. Just installation's gonna be better. Plus, from a shooting standpoint, I'm gonna be more drawn to my left if I had to turn on a deer than I am to my right. So it's better to have this camera over here, because that's gonna be a better chance that this is out of the way of a shot. I like this thing. This thing's nice. This is gonna definitely help us. This is gonna bring us some cool angles later in the year. So I'm gonna give the Muddy installation, I'm gonna give it a B++, only because it's a little bit heavy, but you know what? That's what the game's all about. You gotta work. Embrace the suck, as they say. So if that means we gotta carry in a bunch of gear in order to bring you the action, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So now that all that is together, now the next thing we have to do is tear the stand down. So we gotta rate the teardown process and the reassembly of the travel package in order to see how that works. So let's see what that does. And just like we did before, we're going to strap all this stuff together and then backpack it out. So let's see how long it takes for that to happen. Seven minutes, 53 seconds, and I kind of messed up the back strap and I didn't put the ratchet strap all the way around the stand. But overall, not bad. Still kind of slow, still kind of clunky, but I mean, it took 5 minutes to get out of that tree, and then it took another 8 minutes, so 15 minutes to tear out and get out of here with no sign of you being here whatsoever. I'm gonna have to give that an A for tearing down your stand and getting out of the woods in that short a period of time with no trace that you were there. That's not too shabby. That's not shabby at all. So with that, I feel pretty good about this stand. I gotta give the X-Stand backcountry setup plus the Muddy lineman's rope and the X-Stand harness all together, portable hunting setup. I'm gonna have to give this as close to an A as you can get without maybe necessarily getting an A. I mean, there's no doubt this was the quickest I've ever installed a tree stand, ever. Still a little clanky. It's not that heavy, not terrible. A climbing stand would be lighter, but for the security that you have and the pieces that you have and how many there are, that was pretty dang smooth. I recommend this stand highly to anybody trying to get into portable tree stand hunting, and I am definitely going to install this stand right now in a place where I'm gonna hunt later in the year. Love the stand, awesome investment, really glad I did it. Plus that Muddy arm is going to make filming so much better in so many ways. So I'm gonna get my bearings together here. I'm gonna get a sip of water, and then I'm actually gonna go hang this tree stand, and we're gonna go check some trail cam pictures too. That way we can do the full circuit of deer prep on this fine day. Hang the stand, check the cameras, let the anticipation boil. Let's go do it. It's raining. Well, we're stuck in it now. We gotta get the heck out of here. I got gear all over these woods. Shoot.
Oh yeah, we're back.
All the equipment survived the torrential downpour that we got caught in. And now we are back in the office and we are going to take a look at these trail cam pictures. Now you might remember from last time that we had a couple bucks, including my boys Tank and the up-and-comer, who are looking pretty large. Well, those deer were in velvet, and I have a suspicion, due to the lack of water we've had, that those deer might already be hard-horned, meaning that their antler growth has ceased and the velvet's already peeling off. If there's not enough nutrients in the environment, their antlers won't keep growing because of all the other organ systems vital for deer health over the course of the year. The antler is the most nutrient expensive and least needed for survival. So if any part of that deer is gonna stop growing first due to bad nutrition, it's gonna be antler growth. Well, I'm hoping these deer are gigantic. I'm hoping that Tank makes another appearance on camera. I wanna see what those points look like. I'm eating my lunch. Tomato sandwich and potato chips, baby. Summer staple. All right, so, wow, holy moly. Thousands of pictures. This is the stand where we changed the tree stand out, the one at the back of the ridge. You might remember from our prior deer scouting trail cam replacement video, these are the same cameras, and this camera is all the way to the west along that bench. Go back to that episode and check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Twin young legal bucks first photo. That is what I'm talking about. That's a good start. Some nice bucks. Young bucks. Oh, third buck. That's that goofy buck. That goofy tri-horned buck from earlier in the year. He's actually nicer than I thought he was going to be. Love it, man. Even if I don't even shoot them, this is cool to see. There's a lot of bucks back here. Good, healthy looking buck though, that's for sure. That is a bigger buck though. That's the king of the hill right there. That is the up-and-comer. He blows those other deer out of the water. And you see how they just got out of his way. When he came strolling up, these other bucks want nothing to do with this cat. It's crazy. Well, there you have it. Plenty of deer. The Tank is still running free. I haven't got a picture of him. I don't know where he went. He's got to be somewhere. That is a good buck. We have some good evidence. There's plenty of deer activity. We might even have a choice in what buck we want to shoot. Although we have one target deer who's very regular. I know Tank is out there somewhere, and I really don't want to have to hold off for him. But you know what? We'll just keep hoping he comes back at some point. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Captain Coleslaw Outdoors. Make sure you like and subscribe. Deer season's coming, and we got some optimistic evidence that we might have ourselves a good year. Till next time, fellas, shoot straight, stay strong. That's it. I'm out. Catch you later.